Okay, our next video is working on, excuse me, I'm going from a polynomial function to a graph, which is very similar to what we were doing, just the reverse of the last INB. So this time I'm given the function in factored form, and I want to just give a good sketch. So there's a couple things you can start off with. It's usually the x-intercepts. So I have my x-intercepts at -1, 2, and -4. Also have a max that you might want to label. Change the cover for that. Is negative 2.9, almost 3, 6.3. I might label that max just to remind myself. And then I have a relative min at 0.2, -2. That's my min. The next thing you might want to do is write this all the way out in factored form. Or I guess more in expanded form. That's it. Okay, so I know I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 factors. So this is a fourth degree. It's negative, right? So looks like my leading term is going to be -1/8 x to the fourth. So I know my end behavior, as we'll go and get that done. As x goes to -infinity, and as x goes to infinity, my f of x is going down, and my f of x is going down. So it even goes in the same direction. Since it's negative, it's going down on both. So I know I'm going to go down here and down here. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to do is try to find my y-intercept. And that's found by multiplying all my lasts. So I have 4 times -2 times -2 times 1, and then the scalar multiplier of -1/8. So I have 4 times, well, this becomes 4. So I have 4 times 4 is 16 times 1. So I have 16 times this -1/8. And 16 divided by 8 is 2, and this would be a -2. So I know this would be some -1/8 x to the fourth plus all these terms in between, and then my y-intercept of 0, -2. So I'm going to go put my y-intercept of 0, -2. Right there. Okay. And now I'm going to sketch the graph. I think I'm ready. And we can talk about bounces, right? I guess before. Definitely bounce at 2, 0. We're going to cross through at -1, 0 and -4, 0. Since those are the odd amount of times. So here I'm going to start. Might move this arrow a little. It is going to come up through -4, right? It crosses through. It's going to come up to my max and then turn. It's going to come down to -1 through my y-intercept up through my min, and then it's going to go towards my 2, which occurred twice as a factor. So it's going to touch, bounce back down, meet my graph. Domain, easy one. My range, well, this was -infinity into my max of 6.3. My increasing interval, this I describe that by the x values, which is from the left, negative infinity, all the way to the x value of my maximum, negative 2.9. And I'm also increasing right here between the x values of those two mins and maxes. And so I have my minimum at 0.2, and that was a max at what? 2? And I forgot to put that max on there, so that would be 0.2. Okay, and my decreasing interval right here between and here. So my decreasing interval looks to be at the max x, negative 2.9, to the minimum x, 0.2, and then it's going to go from the x value of the max, which is 2. I don't know why I wrote that as 0. And then I'm going to go to infinity. And I'm done. These should be a little bit easier, especially if you did your homework last night and did your INB from yesterday. It's just the reverse. Okay, my next one. This one I have another fourth degree. I guess I should have looked at making all of these fourth degrees, but that's okay. The first thing I'm going to do is I might want to write this out as expanded form. My x-intercepts are 0, negative 3, and 2. It definitely looks like it's going to bounce at 0, 0, and cross at negative 3, 0, and 2, 0. My y-intercept is going to be 0, 0, since that's the same as the x-intercept. So if it goes to the origin, you're going to know. You might say, well, why is that? And that's if I multiply all my constants, I get negative 2 and 3, which is negative 6. But don't forget, if it's not a binomial, you still have to multiply it by that whole front. So my last ends up being 6, negative 6 here, and then half of negative 6 is 3x squared. So that's my last term. It does not have a constant term. Okay, my leading term, well, this is going to be a fourth degree, and so it's going to be negative 1/2 x to the fourth. My domain is going to be negative infinity to infinity. Now I'm ready to put my graph together. So my end behavior, let's do that, I forgot. Since it's even negative again, going down and down. Let's go ahead and put in my relative maxes while I'm at it. So negative 2.2 comma 8.2. Got a max. And 1.4, 2.6. And I have a min there at 0, 0. And we might as well connect up. So I am going to cross through my negative 3, come up to my max, come back down to my 0, 0 where I bounce, come back up to my max, back through my x-intercept, and there's my rough sketch. Increasing interval, that would be from negative infinity up to the x value of that first max, which is negative 2.2. My next interval would be a decreasing interval, and that would be from the 2.2 to the 0. The next interval will be increasing from 0 to the max of the other one, so from 0 to 1.4. And then my last is my decreasing, which would be from that x value of the max, which is 1.4, to infinity. Sometimes it's nice going in order because you get to pick right from max to max. It's personal preference. And I'm done. Oh, wait, except for my range. So I'm going from negative infinity up to the max of 8.2 with the bracket. So you'll have a couple on Delta Math to finish up for your homework, and I'll see some of y'all tomorrow.